Good morning. It is 7:04 on a Friday morning. I want to thank you for joining me today. Whether you're watching me live or you watch me later, please know that I value and appreciate you. It has been a challenging week for me, but I'm here. I'm showing up and I'm engaged, and I actually have a little bit of hope. You see that I have on my Tennessee Titans shirt. I'm a diehard fan. But no, I'm not going to buy the new logo. I don't like it. So we had the draft yesterday, and so I'm representing a little bit. I'm excited, until we start playing. But you can always hope. So what team are you representing? Are you excited for football season? Or what is your favorite sport? Whatever it is, I hope that your team is successful in winning. Excuse me. And yes, I'm ready for some football, NFL football. But so today's topic is one that's really deeply personal to me. I just feel like I've been through a lot in the last, 7 years and everything, and we've talked about it. And I know people are thinking, well, God, she's whole and she's healing and she gets on here and she's a life coach and a good one too. And yet she has all these challenges. I'm no different than anybody else. I'm not. I have good days and bad days just like everybody else. But the difference is now that as I'm growing and I'm seeking healing, sometimes the struggles are different. The struggles are not the same when I was unhealed and unwhole and making bad decisions. Today, in the place that I'm in, it does seem like sometimes it's a little bit more of a struggle to do the things that I know I need to do. I'm going to set my camera just a little bit. To do the things I know I need to do. And so, I know, again, good morning, Miss Gay. You make my heart happy. Thank you for joining me today and every week. I so appreciate you. And so today, I want to talk about something that's real. What I'm in. And I'm calling it my struggle season. Not because I'm off track, not because I've lost my way, but because growth requires real energy. And right now that energy feels heavy. Last week, we talked about activation and alignment, and that's what we are on. We're no longer looking at the storms of life in a certain way. We're really moving toward activation. What are the things that we can do to be in line and purposeful with our actions, with our words. And that means that we're also staying grounded in truth, staying connected to who we're becoming, detaching ourselves from what we used to do, but really focused on who we're becoming. And I want to be totally honest with you. Alignment and purposefulness and intention does not cancel your struggle. It exposes it. It shows you what is real, what is sustainable, and what needs to shift. So when we are healing in an intentional way, sometimes the struggle, it feels like, well, I'm doing all the right things. I'm healing. I'm more conscious about what I'm saying. I know my cousin hates this word, but I'm more mindful of my interactions and the things that I say and I do. So why does it feel so heavy? Because growth requires a different type of energy. And let me share something that hit me recently. I used to think I had more energy because I was younger. I blamed it on the fact that I was going to turn 60 in July. But the truth is, when I was unhealed, I did have more energy. Not the kind that was good for me, because I was running on adrenaline. I was running on survival mode. I was running on proving, performing, pleasing, and pretending. Anybody know what that's like? And that kind of energy is fast, it's loud, it's urgent, but it's not healthy. It's not grounded. It's not sustainable. So when I was unhealed, I was running. Good morning, Yolanda. Love you. Southside representing. I love my Southside girls. When I was unhealed, I was running on adrenaline. when I was not really focused on my needs, but I was taking care of my mom, I was taking care of everybody else, I was making sure that everybody else was good, I was people pleasing, I had to perform, I had a certain image that I need to maintain, I had relationships that I wanted to keep even though they were completely unhealthy for me. I was running on adrenaline. I was feeding off the endless loop of survival. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? When you're in survival mode, you get this level of energy. You can outrun a bear. You can lift up a car. When you'll perform things when you're running on adrenaline, fear, because it's a different type of energy. But when you're growing and you're healing, that adrenaline, it burns fast. It comes in hot. And then when the adrenaline dies, you're super tired. So now that I'm healing, my body isn't running from anything. I'm not powered by chaos, fear, or even I'm not powered by anger. I'm not powered by fear. I'm not powered by anything that's negative anymore. My emotions are not driven by what I don't have or what I think I'm missing out on. And when your nervous system feels safe, it finally can rest. It slows down. It asks you to feel and it asks you to be honest. So when you're running on adrenaline, your nervous system, here comes the cutters, even though I asked them not to come until after 9 o'clock.
Motion detected at Ring doorbell at front door.
I'm going to have a conversation with them again. So anyway, but when you're running on adrenaline, your body can't get rest. When you're working on healing and you're no longer motivated by chaos or fear, your nervous system begins to rest. And then now you can start to really feel. Now all of the things that you were running from, it requires a different level of rest. It requires a different level of intensity. And so this low motivation that I've been feeling, this heaviness, it's not my age. It's not laziness. It's not me going backwards. It's my system restarting, recalibrating. I can say it, but restarting. It's me learning how to live without the adrenaline that used to carry me. So sometimes I was talking to someone else about this, and we were talking about it just seems like we have low motivation. Like I just can't keep going. But I know a friend of mine who I love dearly who just survived a cancer scare. Of course her body's, she was running on adrenaline. She was conscious about her health. Now that that scare is over, it might feel like low motivation, but it's not. It's your body resetting itself, understanding that no longer I have to run on, I gotta do something, I gotta deal with this diagnosis I've been given. It literally is your body is resetting. It's resting. Because adrenaline can only last for so long. So you're not low motivated. You're not unmotivated. You don't have low motivation. Your body's been running on adrenaline and it needs to rest. And as we get older, and it's not even when we get older, when we get healed, our body doesn't need that level of adrenaline anymore. And something else that I wanted to share about this season of struggle is this season has caused me to be in my head way more than usual. Overthinking, second guessing, freezing. And then I had to finally stop and ask myself, does everything have to be processed this deeply? Has anybody else experienced that? You get in this season of struggle and then you get stuck in your head, you freeze, you're overthinking everything. Do I make this decision? Do I move left? Do I move right? Has anybody ever happened to anyone? Because you're second guessing yourself. But this is what I realize. When you're healing, your mind is trying to learn a new way of being. It's slowing down the sense of things that you used to rush past. So when you are in this season of struggle, it might feel like you're overthinking everything. But really what it is your body and your mind is saying, wait a minute. We used to rush past these red flags. We used to rush past our feeling to protect ourselves. We used to move past, well, I really don't want to say that, I really don't want to go, but I'll say yes because I don't want to be left out. When you're healed, the things that used to drive you, you begin to slow down and go, is this really connected to who I am? Do I really want to participate in this thing, these people, this situation? Doesn't mean I'm better than anybody else. It just means that as you heal, you really are conscious of, is this feeding my spirit? Is this part of my purpose? And if it doesn't align to those things, then your body, when you're healing, goes, we don't need that. We don't need that. Because overthinking isn't failure. It's your system trying to protect you to help you build your new patterns. You're not stuck. You're restarting. And sometimes when you're trying to restart, it feels like over analysis. And think of it this way. When you're healing, the person who used to come to you and say what they needed, and you would pour into them until you're empty. When you're healing and growing, you go, do I really have the energy to pour into them? Because what's in the cup is for me, and the overflow is for everybody else. And if my cup isn't full, if I'm not valued, if I'm not feeling protected, then I can't give you what I don't have. That's not a sign of selfishness. That's a sign of growth. That is you tapping into your feelings. It's you sitting in it. And that's often sometimes hard to do. So instead of judging myself for being in my head, I've learned to thank my mind for trying to keep me safe. And then gently guide it back to the present situation. And
Motion detected at Ring doorbell at front door.
And that's part of the work too. So I used to just beat myself up and say, I'm overthinking and I'm thinking the process. But now I thank my mind. Thank you, mind, for recognizing that this could be a potential hurt situation for me. Thank you for helping me slow down to see what's in front of me. I'm not overthinking. I'm growing. I'm healing. I'm paying attention to the things that matter versus overstepping them, trying to fulfill a need or run on that adrenaline like I used to do. And I want to share this too. I thought about it, but I really want to share it because I know I can't be the only one. Yesterday, I woke up and I was just in my feelings and I couldn't understand why I felt the need to I was frustrated. This struggle makes you frustrated. And I was like, what's going on? What is happening? Why am I the overthinking, the lack of motivation? And this is where this all came from when I was sitting. And so then my mind said, just rest, stop, sit in your feelings, sit in it. Don't think it, don't overprocess it. Just sit in it and let your soul speak. And when I sat in my feelings, I said something out loud that even shocked me. I said, I'm the loneliest I've ever been, but I feel the most purpose for my life. And as strange as it sounds, it actually makes perfect sense. Because when you stop performing, stop people pleasing, stop running on survival mode, your circle gets quiet. Your world gets still. And in that stillness, your purpose gets louder. Loneliness isn't always a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes it's a sign that you're finally walking in your own path instead of someone else's. So when I said that to myself, when I allowed my spirit to speak, and I said it out loud, I said, I'm the loneliest I've ever been, but I feel the most purposeful I've ever felt. And I had to sit in that, because when we automatically think of loneliness,
Motion detected at Ring doorbell at front door.
I've asked these folks not to come till 9. When you're sitting in your purpose, when you're sitting still, and I was going to say this, when loneliness isn't always about absent of, because people say, well, I'm lonely, and as if there's loneliness, like you're missing someone or there's something absent from your life. Sometimes loneliness is a sign that you're on the right path, that as your world gets smaller, the chaos slows down. There are people that in my life right now that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I couldn't have imagined my life without them. Now that I'm healed and healthy, I'm trying to figure out why I spend so much time dealing with them. They absolutely brought zero value to my life. Zero, none, zip. But because I was in this unhealed version of myself, I allowed them to come into my life and just deplete it. So sometimes loneliness isn't because you can be in a room full of people and be lonely. So loneliness, it doesn't have anything to do with being around people. I choose to see it that's a sign that I'm finally walking in my own path, instead of having a crowd around me cheering me as I did dysfunctional stuff. Because purpose will pull you into seasons that nobody else can go with you. Let me say that again. Purpose will pull you into seasons where few people can go with you. It is meant for you to go alone. And that's okay. It's part of your becoming. So this season I'm in, it's not a setback, it's a refinement. It's part of the transformation nobody glamorizes. Nobody talks about how hard it is to get through when your motivation is low, when your emotions are tired, and even the good things take significant effort. But here's what I'm learning. The struggle season is not punishment, it's preparation. It's strengthening muscles that you didn't even know, that I didn't even know I had. It's teaching me how to hold on to my peace, even when the progress isn't loud. So here, I like to give some steps. So here's some key steps if you are going through your struggle season. Number 1, name it without shame. Pretending you're fine doesn't make you stronger. Let me say that again. Pretending that you're fine doesn't make you stronger. Honesty does. Saying I'm struggling is not a weakness, it's awareness. We as women, particularly women of color, have developed this, I'm fine. You're broken all inside. You don't know if you're coming, going, but that response of I'm fine means that you have told people that I'm resilient, even when I'm not. Being resilient has its process and its place, but when you're struggling, when you are feeling that low motivation, when you're growing through what you're going through, it is awareness to say, I'm tired today. I'm not feeling it. I'm tired, I'm hurt, I'm sleepy, all those things are part of the growth and healing process. Saying I'm fine all the time is not a sign of strength. It's a sign of unhealed conditioning to portray an image that no longer fits your narrative. Stop. If you are struggling, name it without shame. Number 2, slow your pace, not your purpose. You don't have to quit. You just need maybe to move a little differently. Small steps still count. Rest is still movement. So if you are, feeling like, well, I have low motivation. Okay, and I'm supposed to run 3 miles today. If you don't run 3 miles today, is the world going to end? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe you just go walk to the mailbox and back. That's still movement. Rest is movement. If you're tired, take a nap. It's okay. It's okay to own whatever you're feeling and going through. So you want to slow your pace, but not your purpose. If your purpose is to still lose weight, if your purpose is to still go back to school, maybe this semester, instead of taking 21 hours, just maybe take 12. Slow your pace, not your purpose. Anchor yourself in one daily non-negotiable. This is something that's non-negotiable. I'm going to do one thing that nourishes you: a walk, a prayer, a glass of water, 5 minutes of stillness. Consistency builds confidence. So if you have that, so for me, the one negotiable for me, well, I have a couple, but one negotiable for me is movement. I got to do something every day. Now, am I going to go as hard as I do when I'm in the gym with my trainer? No. But If it's just walking to the mailbox and back, even if it's sitting, stretching, even if, as I mentioned earlier, it's rest, have that one non-negotiable. My quiet time, my alone time, non-negotiable. It's not up for discussion. When I want my quiet time, my time alone, I take it. Not up for discussion. What is your one non-negotiable? And here's a hint. If you don't have a one non-negotiable that you do for yourself every day, you're going to stay tired. Number 4, let the struggle reveal what's real. When everything feels heavy, the unnecessary things fall away. Let me say that again. When everything feels heavy, the unnecessary things fall away. Pay attention to what remains, because that is the truth. So when my life got hectic and I had to leave my job and take care of my mama, and I was making all these decisions, one thing I noticed is the people who no longer could pull and drain from me fell away. When I had to shift my focus from people pleasing and making sure y'all were good to making sure that that my mama was good, and my shift focused off of people pleasing from you, to people please you and make you happy, to what I needed to do to take care of my mom, my dad, myself. When I did that, people stopped talking to me. People who were close to me, when they no longer could pull from me, they ain't had nothing to do with me. When the struggle will reveal what's real. When everything is heavy, the unnecessary things, people, places, locations, all those things will fall away from you. Focus on what remains. Stop chasing people who have walked away. Stop opening doors for folks who the door has automatically closed. Let them go. And number 5, remember, quiet growth is still growth. Just because it doesn't feel exciting doesn't mean it's not working. Some seasons build roots, not flowers. And I'm learning that my struggle season isn't building flowers, it's building roots. It may take another season for what the seed that's been planted in me to take hold. It might take another season for these roots to go deep enough where it can sustain the storm that's going to come. Because let me tell you something. To whomever you pray, you got to understand this. Your development is never for right now. It's for what's to come. When you walk in your divine purpose, when you know who you are, you think everything that's happening to you is for the right now. But it's not. There's another level of growth that comes. And what you are building today is going to sustain you for that growth. That is a growth mindset. I am not building just for today. I am building for what is to come. So when you're having these moments where it doesn't seem like the struggle is real, the season is a little tiresome, I'm having more low motivation, it just doesn't seem like I'm growing, remember that season, that seed may not be building a flower. It may be building a root. Don't give up and pluck the roots too soon. Yes, sir, Mr. Josh Custom Auto Trim. Consistency is everything. So today, as we get ready to come to a close, I want you to know, if you're in a struggle season too, like me, don't rush it. Don't judge it. Let it refine you. Let it teach you the strength that only shows up in the quiet. You're not going backwards. You're going deeper. This still is transformation. This is still your becoming, and you are right on time. Jump in the chat and let me know what you think about your struggle season. Are you in a struggle season too? And if you are, that's okay. I just wanted to share that's where I was, because again, I'm a firm believer that I can't be the only one. I can't be the only person that is pursuing and trying to do what's right and live the best version of themselves and find themselves in struggle. And a lot of times, because we don't talk about it, because we only glamorize the outcome, we don't glamorize the process. As my trainer Joshua say all the time, you got to fall in love with the process. You have to fall in love with the journey. You have to love the pain just as much as you, because that's going to come as you grow. But so many times we only talk about the other side of it. We never talk what it's like going through. That's it. We got to protect your peace at all costs. But we don't share enough that that there is a struggle season even in the growth. But I promise you this, the struggle season that you're coming through the growth as you're growing is going to give you a different result than it is when you're out here struggling, people pleasing and doing other stuff, because that's not going to produce any fruit. You're going to find yourself in the same season of brokenness all over again. The season that's moving you toward your growth will come out a different version and the better version of who you're becoming. Trust me on that. So I'm going to give my 2 love notes. My first love note goes to, it's for Cassandra Finch and Joshua Vaughn. Both are challenging my growth in different ways. Both of them are holding me accountable, but with grace and understanding. And I need those difficult shoves to move me forward, because I do tend to get stuck in my own head, as I see it. And they give me a safe way to get out of it. I appreciate and I love y'all. It means a lot to me. And if you don't have friends like that, someone that is holding you accountable, but not dogging you out, not you supposed to, but that guided process to say and remind you that this is part of the process, and gives you those gentle ways to get out of your own head. So Cassandra and Josh, I appreciate y'all. I do. Y'all know what y'all do, and I value y'all. Thank you. And today's reading comes from my book, Blooming Bear. Morgan Rich Oliver. Hadn't read from her a while, but I wanted to read this one because it felt right on time today. The name of the poem is Be Free. Critics and condemning thoughts will try to keep you in a box that you no longer belong in. Rid yourself of that mindset and misery. It doesn't matter what you've done, who you've been, or how long you've lived life going in the wrong direction. You are free to grow and outgrow. You are free to change your routine, mindset, and circle. You are free to try new things that challenge and excite you. This is your life and your story. Make adjustments as needed. Blooming Bear. And again, I want to thank you for taking the time to spend with me at 7:32. Thank you for hanging in here with me. Again, whether you watch me live or you watch me later, please know that I value and appreciate you. Please feel free to share this with any of your friends or family, or anyone that you feel like could benefit from understanding that this is a struggle season, but it's just that, as a season. Learn from it and let's grow. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Tighten up and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.